Hey y'all. So I already know I made like 3 videos of this already, but something just happened. And you guys should already know this about what happened to one of the Rolla towers. But it gave me an idea of making a update of all the towers in Rolla because there's like a few have been updated, like the Walmart tower. That one's already up. That one was updated, and then the closest monopole to my house was updated again. So yeah, it's like well, it was. Why am I calling them updates? They're modifications. Yeah, not updates. So yeah, the Walmart tower got modified. The nearest monopole to my house got modified again for a second time. The second lowest tower got modified, but it's not visible. Only like I bet pieces of the top were removed and replaced. I think it's probably the only thing. And then there's another beaconless tower, like back in 10th grade, like around the end of 10th grade, like May or April, either of those months. There's a crane that was right next to a little beaconless tower in downtown Rolla. So yeah, we're going to we're going to add that one into it too, because that's just it's another Rolla tower and stuff. So yeah, I don't know if that one was I don't know what was going on with it, but I see no changes with it after its supposed modification. So yeah, it's something. Okay, so what about we start off this list with the why does Google Maps Google Maps just Google Maps is playing with me. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, this time it's working. Let's start off with the tower that's closest to my house. This here's a little antenna tower. It belongs to the RMU. And this here looks like it looks like a guide tower, a freestanding guide tower basically. But it's actually you can say it's half of what I just said, half freestanding guide tower. That's why I like to call these types of little towers. Like, they look like guide towers, but they're freestanding. But this one here actually has a normal lattice section to the tower. So yeah, I remember that. That's like one of the special things about this tower, along with its antenna pattern there. Like, has 3 little spots for antennas to be held on and stuff. Like that one, like that's like the best thing about the tower, really. Or either this or that. Like this tower is pretty cool when it comes to the basics. Like, that there is memorable, with the top, the way the top looks is very memorable to me, along with the bottom as well. So yeah, too bad it's beaconless. It would be so cool if this had a beacon or some sort of markers on it. I would, you know what? I think this will look good with markers, but I'll probably be more interested in it if it had like a dual strobe or single strobe or something like that. That would be so cool. That would be very, very cool. So nothing happened to the tower. Not to my knowledge. Maybe one antenna that was added or something, but I didn't pay attention because the antennas are small and stuff. It's any modification on this tower when it comes to like the little antennas, like here, there, there, they won't usually stick out. But I do say this here will stick out because I always notice that on the tower. So if that's ever removed or something, I will notice it, because I always known that it was there and stuff. So yeah, alright, well, that's it for that tower. Oh, and I don't know what date it was constructed. Okay, so this here is the closest monopole to my house. It, like for, but it was I believe that this pair of antennas here was the first on the tower. Like this is what the tower always looked like from the day it was from the day it was completed and all that. So yeah, that's why I believe at least. So out of nowhere, one day back in 2019, my dad picked me and my sister up from school and stuff, and there's a big crane that was, or actually it was a crane that was like half the size of this tower. I was just like, what are they doing? Are they modifying it or something? So yeah, and then eventually that day, I think either me and my family went to the nearest gas station over there, or we went out for dinner or something. I don't know, but I noticed that the crane actually lifted up, and it was even taller than the tower. Apparently, they were adding a second set of antennas on above the first set of antennas. So yeah, that was a modification. It's been like that for since 2019 and to like just a few days. So yeah, that's its first modification. Well, now guess what? This went through another modification. Its second modification is basically the first modification in reverse. But at least this time there was like no crane that I was able to see of. But oh wait, well maybe there was, because when I got to see it while it was being modified, like all the thing that they were doing and stuff, like here, I'll just tell you now, because if I tell you if I keep on telling you what I saw and stuff, it will spoil what happened to this. So basically, or actually I already spoiled it when I said that this here is basically the first modification in reverse. They removed the top set of antennas for some reason. When I noticed that, me and my family, we went down a road down there that leads to the junior high and middle school, and there's people climbing it, and I noticed how there's no top antennas anymore. So yeah, so basically the tower is back in its original look. It's back in its original form. It doesn't have any new antennas on it anymore. I don't know if some random cookie cutter tower was built like somewhere around my area that replaced that or something. I bet that some other tower got the antennas, and yeah, making the antennas on this tower useless, because there's others that are being used on a different tower somewhere in my area. I don't know. They're just removed, and I don't see any signs of any other antennas coming back. Well, I don't see any signs of antenna replacements and stuff. Like, they removed it completely. The tower looks just like it is, just like it does right now in this street view. So yeah, that's a modification I was kind of happy with, because this is the way I always seen this tower. I always liked how it always had this big platform with the antennas on it below the top. So it's like there's something sticking out at the top, its top set of antennas. I always liked that. The second set of antennas kind of ruined it. Well, yeah, it ruined it, because it covered up more of that top section of the tower. But it's been removed, and yeah, I have a feeling that they're going to add more antennas on top of it where the other ones were, because that's how things are. I just have that feeling they'll do that. So yeah, I at least got to film this tower in its original form again, because I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to do that back in like back before it got its first modification and stuff, because of how I didn't have a channel back then. The tower was built in 2007, I believe. Our next two towers is I should really start calling these two towers the Price Chopper duel, the Price Chopper Tower duel, I guess. It consists of a red and white guide tower and a gray beaconless monopole. So we're starting off with my favorite one out of the two. This one here is a red and white guide tower. It only has one set of antennas. It has a new beacon right now, but it used to have a different beacon that was much better. It gave this tower so much more character to it. The reason why is because of some things. So yeah, let's. You guys should already know the story of this tower. So back then, this tower used to have an old school incandescent beacon, and it flashed very fast. It blinked very fast. I do know that. Like it would fade very, very quickly and stuff and all that. It'll be like wow, wow, wow. It was something like that, but with noise that time, since there's no video of this and stuff. I wish there was. So yeah, it would just blink like that for a little while, and then all of a sudden its incandescent beacon would go into a stationary mode and then just act like a marker. So yeah, and then it'll go back to flashing fastly. Its markers too, at the time I didn't know this, but I know the reason why now. But I always seen that there's only like 2 working markers on the tower, and back then I thought all towers, no matter what beacon or anything, had 3 little markers on each marker pair, but this one only had 2. So yeah, I was just like, oh, looks like one of them's burned out, and it's been like that for a long time, or the entire time that the tower had an incandescent, I guess. But yeah, so back then I thought it was just because one of the markers were burnt out, but the reason why is because old school incandescent beacon markers only come with 2 little markers. It's not like the newer ones, like the modern incandescents and other beacons that come with 3 little markers. These beacons here came with 2 little markers. So yeah, and then somewhere around 2016, the tower's incandescent beacon was replaced with an old school LED. And the top of the tower itself was modified to. Back then, it used to look a little weirder, or much cooler in my opinion. So yeah, there's like there's like one little dish up there, and then a few other things I don't remember. Probably ham antennas, I guess. But yeah, that's what it used to have, and the top, this here, it's just the top of the tower. It looked a little wider for some reason, I don't know. But there is old street view here where you're able to see its old incandescent and what it used to look like before it got the LED. Oh yeah, I forgot about the sun. There's the dish that it used to have. You're not able to see the top, but the top did look wider, and then the area where the dish is looked like it was narrow. Hopefully there should be street view here. No, there's not street view in the Casey's parking lot. So yeah, there's that. Oh, maybe there is, or no, that's just for the other lane of the road. Oh, okay. Oh, this is much better. Alright, so you're able to see what it looked like. I could see that there's 2 rods or something that were in there. They're pretty noticeable, but I think those were like one of the few things that were, well, yeah, it was one of the few things that were removed. I would have already pointed them out if if I seen them and stuff earlier. So yeah. Oh, I just noticed there's also a little ham antenna there. Or no, it's not. It's a normal FM antenna, so it's kind of an FM tower. You're still not able. Well, you're not able to see its old school incandescent very clearly, but yeah. I'm pretty sure that antenna might still be here. Yeah, it's still on the tower, so that's good. So yeah, it used to have a weird old school incandescent. Now it has a night mode only old school LED. I have no idea what year it was built, but every time I would think about what year the tower was built, I always think about like early 90s for some reason, or late 80s. I have no idea why. It just pops up into my head every time I think about it. So yeah, there's that. Now I get to the second tower of the duel. This plain looking gray monopole. This here is like I just said, plain looking monopole. Only has one set of antennas on the very top of it, and that's really about it. So yeah, it's beaconless and stuff. It's not very interesting. It's one of the least interesting towers in Rolla. So yeah, it's a very bland tower. And I'm pretty sure this here was also built in 2007, just like the other monopole. I'm pretty sure. But the monopole is pretty memorable because back then I would always have dreams of this tower having some sort of weird messed up beacon for some reason. I don't know. Something that was like a single strobe or something something like that for some reason. Okay, our next tower here is a radio tower. This here used to be a full radio tower. Now it's half. So yeah, it was built in 2013 or 2014. If I had to choose, I think it was probably built in early 2013, I would believe, I guess. So yeah, there it is and stuff. This is what it used to look like until in August 2020, the tower got a set of cell antennas below the radio antennas and stuff. So it's now a cell tower hybrid, half cell tower, half radio tower. So yeah, there's nothing else about the tower to talk about. So yeah, it's also beaconless, but there's a beacon platform, but it's beaconless. So yeah, it looks like the tower was made to have a beacon, but it's small and stuff. So yeah, it's just funny to me how it has a beacon. Platform. Like you can kind of see it there. It's over there on the right, or no, it's left. So yeah, sorry guys, I can confuse a lot of things. It's embarrassing. Hopefully that Franklin dude doesn't comment down in this comment section just like, oh, you're so stupid. If you don't know who that guy is, you'll just have to find out in part 2 of that bluish purple streetlight conspiracy crap. So yeah, that's it for this tower. Nothing else happened to it. Okay, so we got 2 more beaconless towers here, though I wish I had beacons, like especially this antenna tower here. That would have been so nice if that one had a beacon. This tower looks like the tower that would have a single strobe. So yeah, this one here looks like it would have an LED. Yeah, sad to hear, but yeah, it looks like it would have an LED. So this tower is a half cell tower, half antenna tower. So yeah, if I can find older street view of this tower, you'll be able to see something that's been removed off the tower. So basically the tower used to have, well, the tower still has this antenna here, but there used to be more antennas over there, but they were removed for some reason. So yeah, it was basically some bars would stick out of the tower, and then you'll get the antennas on this here. That's what it used to look like. There is an old picture of this tower on Google Images somewhere, but I don't want to dig it out and stuff. But so yeah, I'll just have to tell you. But it was removed in a modification, so yeah, the tower no longer has it, sadly. It looked cooler with it, really. And this is also a Pyrod tower. It's one of the only Pyrod or maybe it might be the only Pyrod tower in Rolla. I don't know. I have a feeling that there might be another. But right now, this here is like the only one. Now we look at the brother of this this tower. This here is the cooler looking one of the two. So yeah, this one's actually this one's not a Pyrod tower. It's a normal lattice tower. So yeah, I'm very disappointed how this doesn't have a beacon. I wish it was a little taller so it could have a beacon. I would definitely see this one having a single strobe or an FH08 with a slow night mode. This tower looks like the type of tower to have that beacon and all that stuff. For some reason... Okay, hold on. Alright. Forgot what I was... Oh, I remember what I was going to say. For some reason... hold on. Alright. For some reason... most lattice towers most lattice towers with FH08s always have the slow night mode. I have no idea why, but that's just how it is. I think most sky towers, or all that I know of at least, I think, they all have the quick flash night mode. I'm not too sure why, but it's just something. So yeah, if this had an FH08, it would have the slow night mode. Most likely because of this, it must be some sort of FAA rule. The only towers I know of that, or I mean, the only 3 towers. Yeah, I was only going to include 2, but I remember there being a 3rd one that's not even in Missouri. So yeah, the only 3 towers I know of that are lattice towers that have FH08s with the quick flash night mode is the first Lowe's tower. The first Lowe's Towers former beacon was an FH08. It had the quick flash night mode for some reason. It was supposed to have the slow flash night mode because it's a lattice tower, but it had the quick flash night mode for some reason. I don't know why, but for some reason I always thought that was normal until Aiden pointed it out and pointed out how all or most lattice towers are supposed to have the slow night mode flash if they have FH08s. The other tower that has an FH08, the other tower is Springfield Highway Patrol Tower. Basically, it's a clone of the old Rolla Highway Patrol Tower, except with the opposite beacon, really. So yeah, that one has. Still currently has its FH08, I believe. The last time I seen it was when I came home from Texas and stuff. I filmed it too because I wanted to announce it to you all that it was more special than we all thought, really. Because when I was thinking about all the towers I known of that had FH08s that had the quick flash night mode, or that are lattice too, that had the quick flash night mode, that one popped up into my head. I was just like, hey, that one's a lattice tower. It has an FH08 with the quick flash night mode. So yeah, that one it has a quick flash night mode. It's kind of weird, you know. And then the third lattice tower I seen with the quick flash FH08 night mode was actually in Florida. It was it was close to a beach. It was around the beachy area of Florida. So I remember we were going to this restaurant and we were going to a beach that was close to it. And I remember seeing this tower duel. Like, these two towers were right next to each other, and they both had single strobes. Though at the time, it was kind of hard to see. Well, I wasn't too sure what beacons it had, but when I looked at them, they both looked like single strobes. So I really wanted it to be I really wanted it to be just like the two Lowe's towers, how one only shines white while the other one shines white and red. But when I seen the towers at night, they both shine white only. So yeah, the funny thing is, one of the towers one of the towers had the slow flash night mode, but the other one had the quick flash night mode. That's why I remember. So yeah, I've been trying to find the towers for the longest time, but I haven't. I wasn't successful, and I forgot I forgot the location too. So I need to ask my parents where we went, because this was like this was like the time where we went to Florida in 2019, March 2019. So yeah. So those are the only three towers I know of so far. So yeah. But this one here, it would only get it'll most likely get the slow flash night mode if it had a beacon. So yeah. And if you don't know, this tower here is the tower that got its modification, or supposedly got a modification. I remember I was going to the high school one morning, and I seen a little crane half the size of this tower. It was doing something, I don't know, but it was like right next to the tower. I don't know what was going on, but if I had to guess what was going on, they probably removed this here, because I don't remember seeing that recently. Maybe it's still there, I don't know. I never paid attention really. So yeah, tower don't have no beacon. It supposedly got modified too. So yeah, there's that. Both of these towers got modified and stuff, and most likely both got things removed. This one here, I already know that. But this one here, I'm not too sure if it's a modification removed something or not. Alright, so this here is our next tower. This here is one of the coolest looking monopoles in Rolla, and holy crap, look what I just noticed. Haha, I finally get to see it. If you don't know what that is, it's basically a silo, just like those two or three. There's a third one back there. But yeah, this is a silo area. I remember there used to be another silo, but it just disappeared one day. It was just taken down. I don't know if it was. I don't know if it looks like it was blown over or something. Maybe it was on purpose, but maybe it was just a storm or something. Just like the old Highway Patrol tower, how it got blown over by a damn storm. So, well, strong winds at least. So yeah, the way it looks here, it looks like it was blown over. But I remember this. I remember there being a green light on top of it somewhere. It was probably an old mercury vapor light bulb on it, I think. But I remember there's one time where I noticed that green light disappeared. And I was just like, what happened? So yeah, eventually later on I found out that the tower disappeared on Google Maps when I investigated when I got older, a little older really. So yeah, back to the monopole. This here is one of the coolest looking monopoles in Rolla. The reason why is because its antennas. So it used to have 4 sets of antennas. The first set has the most antennas on it. The second set has the least. The third set, it's the smallest, and the fourth set is probably the coolest looking of the 4, really. So this is what it used to look like. I remember this. And then all of a sudden, the third little set of antennas were removed. As you can see, they're nowhere to be found. They were removed off the tower. I don't know why, but they just were. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they're yeah. That's its modification. It's another modified tower. So yeah, and I'm pretty sure it got another modification, but this time it was new antennas and stuff. The reason why is because I remember I got off of school and I was walking over to a local business downtown for my mom to pick me up and stuff after work. So that's where I would be. So that I would be waiting at an ice cream shop down there. But there's one time where I noticed some of the antennas looked the color white. It was like clear white, while some of the others looked like it had a muddy white or something. It was dirty white, I guess. So just like, it looks like this tower got new antennas. So, yeah, looks like it went through two modifications. One of them was noticeable, but I didn't. But it went under my nose for the longest time. I never known that third set of antennas got removed. And the second modification was barely noticeable, but I somehow noticed it while staring at the tower once when I was walking over to the ice cream place. And I just got to admire how cool the second set of antennas looks. Look at that platform. Doesn't it look cool? I think it looks pretty awesome. So here's the next one. This here is another plain looking monopole. I remember Aiden ranked all the Rolla towers, and he said, well, not all, but at least he said that this monopole here is his least favorite monopole. It's his least favorite tower in Rolla. So yeah, I can understand why. Beaconless, only one set of antennas and stuff, there's nothing special about the tower. So yeah, I don't know when these monopoles were built. So yeah, but I'm pretty sure it might have been 2006 or 5, or I don't know. It's just somewhere in the 2000s. They were around in the 2000s and stuff. So yeah, I have a feeling that they were built somewhere around the early 2000s. Alright, well, I'm going to make a part 2 to this because I don't want this being a very long video. And as you can see, after talking about a tower, it can be a little short. It could be short, I could say this and that and whatever. And then all of a sudden I look at the time and I realize it's just holy crap, a full 12 minutes of talking about one tower. There's a hell of a lot of towers in Rolla too. Imagine that. That'll be so long of a video. So I'm just going to cut this one short and make a part 2. So yeah, this one's going to be shorter than most part 1 videos, really. So yeah, there's that. This is just going to be the end of part 1. Yeah, I apologize for this, but I don't want this to be some very long video.